I'm Kurt with Infinity Cutting Tools. Today I want to talk to you about Infinity's Window Sash bit set. Now I have a 1920s bungalow. This old house, especially in Florida, gets lots of damage in its old wood. So I was excited when I found out that we had that Window Sash bit set. It allows for me to create a 1 3/8 inch thick door or window with divided lights. They match perfectly in the older houses. The French doors in the interiors of the house, they look great. So I'm going to go over some of the parts and how to use one of these bits. The Infinity Window Sash bit set is typical Infinity quality. Teflon coated for cleaning, great carbide blade for cutting, sharpness, cleanness. This is a cope, this is a profile. They're CNC'd to match, or machined to match. Perfectly great bit. Cuts through everything really well, nice clean edges everywhere. Now with this bit set, it's a little different than just a regular cope and stick door. These are big parts, so the regular cope and stick is not really strong enough for a big door. So what we need to do is we add a tenon and a mortise into the pieces. To do that we do it on the table saw, but you can use a mortise or whatever you want to use for that. So parts of a door or window. The long vertical pieces are your stiles. Horizontal pieces are your rails. And the central part, which divides, you have a sash and muntins. This is where you get your divided lights. So this is where you put your glass in. You'd cut yourself some stock for the backside. I used about a 1/4 inch tenon, 1.25 inches long. To set up the dado for our tenons, we want to make sure that our fence is 1.25 inches away from the furthest point on our blade. To do this, use a square, tape measure, ruler, or whatever else you want to use. Good. The next part is when you're taking your cuts, we want to take very small passes. Edge over, small pass, edge over, small pass, edge over, small pass, until our final cut, which rides on the fence, has a very small pass. To set the coping height, we raise the bit until we just barely brush the bottom side of the tenon. The piece needs to be face down. Raise your bit until we're just touching it. Right there. Fence depth is a 1/4 inch past the tenon to the front edge of the bit, which takes us to 1.5 inches in our case. To lay out our mortises, we need to place our tenons alongside our stile. Our stile place on edge with the inside edge facing up. Shoulder on the rail facing outward. This needs to be flush. Make a pencil line. Make a pencil line. We will now stand this piece on edge, laying face side to face side. Make our pencil line. Slide the workpiece down. Make our pencil line. Extend it out. And now we have the marking for our mortising. To set profile height, we're going to want to put the bottom edge of the rabbiting bit onto the top part of the tenon with the workpiece face down. Until it just barely touches. That'll be the starting point. We may have to raise or lower it to adjust fit. To set the fence, place a straight edge alongside the bearing and adjust the fence in or out accordingly. For the mutton and sashes, you're going to want to make a sub fence or secondary fence that will press up against them to hold them in securely. I also make a very large push stick to be able to push through with control across the entire piece. Alright, so that's the window sash unit. It's a pretty easy build for the most part, with the exception of the big mortise and tenons that go into it. That part will throw you off a little bit, as will the math on the sashes and muttons. Just take your time, be precise. You'll be fine on this. Please follow the blog, follow the PDF instructions. Those will both be a nice accompaniment to this video for when you're making this. Otherwise, it's a pretty nice door or window sash. So, hope you like it. You can see it's a fairly good go together. So, all right, go have fun making some stuff. Restore that old house.